What's up, everybody? David here with another vlog, and I will tell you, it has been another fruitful yet kind of challenging week, but in ways that it's always new challenges, thankfully, not, old stumble on the road challenges. I was gonna name this video Off the Tiddy because in my culture, like, I'm black and Filipino, and so they always be like, oh, D-Tree, like, you always on your mama's titty, blah, blah, blah. Like, you always on somebody. Like, everyone is on different titties to different levels. And when I say on the titty, that means are being supported by someone, or are kind of being propped up by someone, or being propped up by something, or like, it's essentially, you're having like a source of like you're getting yours from somewhere else that isn't necessarily of your own, or it's someone taking care of you or helping you out or support. It's getting support. That's what it is. I guess being on the titty correlates to the level of support you get from whoever. This is probably the most in my life where I feel like I am off whatever titty and I'm really standing on my own 2 feet, if that makes sense. Like, I don't get no support from let me see. How do I say this without sounding like a hater? I have people or friends and people that I know in my life that have the ability to fall back on certain things. And that's a blessing for them. That's a blessing. However, a lot of people that I know, me included, and people that have it even worse than me, and not worse, but just less support than me, we are literally standing on our own 2 feet, doing our own thing. Like, I don't got a job. I'm really freelancing. I'm really turning my business into an actual business. I always had the support of, friends and family, but, this is the most that I've ever had to really depend on me for the survival of me and nobody else. Like, all the money I'm getting is from plays that I drew up, relationships that I made, connections I made. Everything that's happening has somewhat been initiated by me, or I planted a seed, or I did something. And so maybe this is me just like really taking 3 minutes to give myself a pat on the back, because this steps into our next topic about like gall and audacity. And so because of where I come from a place of not abundance, scarcity. There we go. I come from a place of scarcity mindset. So everything that I do, maybe it's just my nature, how I am, I tend to play it a little bit safe, or instead of looking at the now, I'm always looking at like the longevity of it. Because yes, we have now and we want to do good now, but in my head, I'm always living for tomorrow, or I'm living for like what the future holds. As much as I want to be in the present, because of the way my life is set up, I need to at least be thinking forward. That way I could set myself up and kind of have an easier time. But to rewind back, gall and audacity. I feel like over the course of my life, I have lacked a level of gall and audacity because of, I don't know if it's early life failures, if it's like being told like you doing too much, that's doing too much. Like, I got a lot of you doing too much, pop, you doing too much, pop. I probably got a permanent, if you look on the side of my head, it swoops like this. I probably got a permanent little hook in my head from all the little pats, pat, 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 pat. And so think about it. Every time you go to do something with gall or audacity or audaciousness, the feedback you get is pat, pat. And so hundreds, thousands of times over the course of, years, maybe I'll just say developmental years, over the course, we'll say 10, 15 years of early development, you have to grow out of the every time you think you better make a move or make a big play, there's this thought of like, pat, you just gonna get smacked upside your head if it happens. And so in business or in the plays that I make, there is like a metaphorical like slap in the back of the head that's coming if I don't play this play the right way. And so in doing that, it's like you have to kind of get over that and just keep going, do it, run the play. And I feel like there's a lot of people that I don't want to say had more success than me in certain areas, even though I may have had more technical skill. And it's just because they had the gall and the audacity to go after it. And they got it. And so sometimes it really is just about having the audacity and the gall to do stuff. Now, on the backhand of that, there's overzealousness, which can, kind of leads to pride. And so there's always a balance with that, but you got to at least give yourself the shot. You got to put yourself out there. You have to at least try to do the thing. If you never try to do the thing will never happen. And yeah, you might get a head slap. You might take a step back or whatever, but use that feedback, learn, and then try to attack it again. All right, so let's get into recent professional experiences that have been kind of crazy. So over the course of my career, I have typically worked with creatives, independent business owners, small businesses, people that have direct control over whatever it is that they're doing. However, I'd say over the last 2 or 3 months, I've been working with bigger corporations, nonprofits, political, like government people. It's been a new space. It's like a political space. It's a fundraising space, the donor space. It's the donor industry. That's what it is. I'm gonna call it the donor industry for right now. So I have been working in the donor industry for maybe it's literally only been like 2 months or so. But in that space, it's so crazy because at a glance, you would think that these nonprofits, they're just trying to kind of get by. But the whole point of these nonprofits and a lot of these organizations is to help. Oh my gosh. You're literally catering to people that need to have their money written off because they make so much money. And so we're going to set up this nonprofit to help whatever it is, organization or whatever, what do you call it when you want to help something, your cause. So you have your nonprofit that is supposed to be going towards a cause. And so to get money for their cause, they go to people that need to give money away because they make so much money. So you kind of have different socioeconomic levels here. Like you have the regular people, like I feel like I'm regular people down here. Then you have the people that run the nonprofits that are they float in between where I am and where they are. And then you have the people at the top, the oligarchs and the nobility and the aristocrats. And I am serving them that are trying to get the money from them. And so these nonprofits are targeting they're targeting the nobility because they want the nobility's money, and the nobility needs to give their money to the nonprofit so they don't get taxed by Uncle Sam. And so it's this whole thing. And I'm over here trying to, just barely, like, I'm scraping by, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make my little whatever. I went to one fundraising auction program or like event, and man, these people were throwing around my yearly, quarterly salary, my yearly earnings like it wasn't nothing. And I said, dang, man, what did these people do to get all this bread? And it's probably generations and generations of that's what old money is. And so I know I'm going on a tangent, but this whole thing is to just say that I'm learning that there's a whole nother industry that I didn't know about. I'm learning about it. And there's a lot of people with a lot of money. And I see why people say a lot of money's there, because it is. But at the same time, ain't nobody just giving it out. And you have all these people I've been working with that have been spending all these resources and money just to make and refine their pitch to get their money from the big guys, you know what I mean? From the aristocrats. And so I'm literally seeing in real time like the different levels, the different socioeconomic statuses, and it's just there's levels to this game. There's so many levels. There's so many levels to this game. And it's like, a part of me is like, well, what do these people do? Because you have no, I take that back. I'm talking more, I'm going into government officials and stuff, but let's cut that. There's just a lot of people out there that have so much money, they have more than I could even fathom. Like, I'm so broke down here, but at the same time, it's like, not that I'm tripping, but I could see the road. I see the road. And it's really just like trying to figure out where you can fit in and insert yourself and kind of create your own lane. That way you can have a little bit more control over your life. And I think that's what we all want at the end of the day. This is all about having control over our lives. And so, dang, yeah, that's a crazy one. So to wrap everything up and kind of make it all make sense, you have to have the gall and audacity to go after the things that you want, the things that you deserve. At the same time, you have to go at them with a level of understanding. You just have to have a level of understanding. Everything is understanding and leveling up. And I feel like I'm in the process of leveling up something. Something's leveling up. And so I'm kind of at the beginning and the new understanding point and trying to figure out where Treehouse Productions and where David kind of slots in with all of this. It's kind of like I've been thinking about the idea of self-actualization lately, like becoming who you are, becoming the person you want to be, transforming yourself into a person, making yourself into something worth, being. Not that I'm not worth being, but I'm always trying to be better. Like, we want to be better. I want to be better. I want better things in my life. And so for those better things, I have to be better. One last idea that I was kind of fiddling with, or that I've always had. And so what do you call it when you're enjoying things so much that you don't want them to end? But because you don't want them to end, you just don't finish it. And so let me use this as an example. So I bought this little master grade Gundam 15 years ago. I bought this 15 years ago. But when I started to finish it, I didn't want to finish it, because then I would be done building it and then it would be done. It would be done. And the same thing with video games. Right now, I'm probably on the last level. I don't know if anyone's played Persona. I'm on the last level of Persona 5. And I haven't played the game in months because I don't want the game to end. I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end. And with some things in life, like video games or model kits or things, you could save that shit and it'll still be there. But there's a lot of opportunities or things in life where I'll be doing something, or I'll think about something ending before it starts, and I'll be like, oh, I don't even want to come to that ending. So I'll never start before the ending even like gives itself a chance to fruitionate, or whatever you want to call it. Like, another example, when I was younger, I would love a meal so much that I would get to the end of it and be like, fuck, I don't want to finish it. And I would save it. But then the issue with food is that if you wait too long, it's gonna go rotten. And so, just like, I guess with organic, unlike inorganic matter, when it comes to organic matter, life, people, things, food, whatever, living things on time, you gotta take action in that moment, because this shit's not gonna be there. It's not gonna be there. And so that's probably one of the things that I'm trying to work on, is that, like, pushing through the negative end result that I have in my head. Cause I don't know what it is about things ending. Everything has a time period. Everything comes to an end. Everything has its time, and everything comes to an end. And so I think growing up, yeah, this has become a whole growing up thing. The idea of loss is so hurtful or bad to me that I would literally never have than to have lost. And what's the saying? It's better to have loved than lost than to have never loved at all. And sometimes I'll be like, nah, I actually don't want to love. I would rather not. And so, last bit of random, this is like the last kind of bit of randomness, but yeah, like, really, this is, again, me talking to me like it always is. You have to really, you can't be afraid of time. I don't know what it is about, like, I'm afraid of time, or I'm afraid of the result not being what I want it to be, and I used my most valuable asset, time, and got a negative outcome. And so this goes back to the gall and the audacity. You just have to keep having gall, audacity, and I didn't use the word confidence, but confidence is probably the most accurate word to use. You have to have that confidence when just doing these things. And I feel like this is the first time where I'm like, nah, man, I got the shit. I'm not getting popped in the head no more. Like, my shit work. My way actually works. Damn, and how many people could say that? How many people could say that their way works? Now, my way isn't perfect, but it works, and it has net positive results. I'm talking about, yeah, you right. No, I'm patting myself on the back of this video. I'm talking shit this video, because my way works. And maybe that's what I mean. Like, maybe my confidence is just at an all-time high, because I'm like, man, I know this shit works. I'm doing it. God, that shit work. My way of philosophy, my way of going about life and living and money and taking care of my shit, it works. My way of going about relationships works. My way about going life works. The things that I do work. And I'm just, yeah, man, I'm happy that this shit works. It works. And it might not work for everybody, or people might see my way of working and be like, that might not work for me. Well, you know what? You just got to find out what works for you, brother. You got to find out what works for you, because what works for me works for me. And we building on it. And so, yeah, that's the ending we're going to leave on. This shit works. Fuck with me. Always put God first. Stay in your lane. Do you. Run it up. Till the next one. Peace.